Hey, Shalom, Kalalal, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai. All praises, glory, and honor due unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone of GMS that do rule well and that do teach well and that have taught me this truth. To you I say Shalom, and Shalom unto the hopeful elect. Lord willing, this will be edifying and thought-provoking in the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai. And I just want to revisit what I did back on July 28, 2025. I made a video called Race Wars Esau versus Yasha Allah, and this is just more information coming out about the brutal beatdown that took place in Cincinnati. You had a bunch of Jakes beat down a white couple, and that has sparked a lot of outrage throughout the country and also throughout that state and that city. So this is just some more information. Here it is. It says, oh, and by the way, the links will be in the description down below. So it says, they begged for that beatdown. I am grateful. Cincinnati City Council member openly celebrates vicious mob assaulting white people in downtown Cincy. This was posted yesterday, July 30th. And this is the councilwoman right here. As you can see, it's a so-called black woman. And also, she's older, she's a part of the older generation. And the older generation, you older Israelites, man, you experience a lot of racism in America. And, I can tell, it was probably pretty hard for her to get in this position as a so-called black woman. And, but the main point is she's happy. She's happy about those Edomites getting beat down by Jake. And she made some statements, and now she's catching flack for it. You see, that's Jake. Jake wants the kingdom now. Jake wants to dance in the blood of the wicked now. But it ain't time for that now. You see, that's going to happen in the kingdom. Right? Daniel 7:18, the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to take the kingdom. We're physically going to take it by force. And these other nations, starting with the Edomites, they can't do a damn thing about that because the Lord is going to be with us. Right now, the Lord is not with us. And you know what proves that? First of all, you're catching a lot of flack for those statements that you made. And on top of that, the Jakes that beat down that Edomite couple, a lot of them are charged and arrested, right? So in our kingdom, when we have these other nations in our hands, especially the Edomites, hey, we're not going to be charged. We're not going to be locked up for beating them up. Remember, these Jakes, man, these Edomites, man, when they had us in slavery, they weren't getting charged for oppressing us, mutilating us, beating us down, plucking out all our teeth, killing us for reading the Bible. That was acceptable. That was a good thing. The law was actually on their side. So in our kingdom, the law is going to be on our side. And it's going to be acceptable for us to beat them down and to punish them. But right now, it's just not the time, Jake. It's not the time. So it says, while most of the country has erupted in outrage after an angry mob savagely assaulted two white people in downtown Cincinnati over the weekend, one prominent local politician has the exact opposite reaction to the story. As the Gateway Pundit reported, a group of black individuals smacked around a bald white guy at the intersection of West 4th Street and Elm Street in downtown Cincy and beat him so bad that he could not get up. Then a white woman got slugged by one of the cowards. Her head slammed down onto the concrete and she lost consciousness. Blood was seen coming out of her mouth. 2 people have been arrested in the attack so far. One was out on bail from previous charges. Now Cincinnati mayoral candidate Corey Bowman has discovered something also quite disturbing. Victoria Parks, the Cincinnati City Council president pro tem, thinks this wicked mob was 100% justified in its actions. In fact, she openly celebrated seeing these 2 poor tourists getting beaten with an inch of their lives earlier this week. And this is her comment, or this is her statement, they begged for that beatdown. I'm grateful for the whole story, Parks wrote in response to a Facebook post. I guess this is the whole conversation. Corey Bowman, actual social media comments made by a sitting member of Cincinnati City Council. They didn't have to do them like that. He was obviously drunk. They begged for that beatdown. I'm grateful for the whole story. Victoria Parks, You're on city council, and you make a statement like this. Yeah, you see? So, yeah, now she's catching flack for her words. And she might lose her job, or be written up. Who knows, man? But that's how it is. Now, they were foreigners, too. And these are the Jakes that are being arrested. So-called black woman, blonde hair. She's got problems, okay? This guy's got problems, too. Right? But you can't just go around punching people. Remember, the scripture says, render unto Caesar's what is Caesar's. You have to abide by the laws of the land, man. You have to respect the rules and the laws of this place, because this is not your rest. Micah 2:10 says that. And you can get in serious trouble. So this is not our kingdom. This is not our rest. And we have to act a certain way. You have to be civil with these devils, even though they don't want to be civil with you. So it says, third person arrested in Cincinnati mob beatings. Woman victim is Russian who flew home the day after. So she's Russian, right? They're Russian. It's a Russian couple. Now, I'll say this, man. A lot of Russians are racist. A lot of them crackers and Edomites over there in the East, in Eastern Europe, especially Russia, Ukraine, they're all a bunch of fucking crackers, man. They're racist. And it's a well-known fact that Russians, man, especially neo-Nazis, they celebrate Hitler's birthday, man. And a lot of you foreign students, right, you international students that go over there to Russia to study, it's a well-known fact that on Hitler's birthday, they tell you to stay inside, man, because you can get killed. So, them Russians, man, they're a bunch of racist crackers, man. You Edomites over there. So I wouldn't be surprised, man, that these guys, these Russian people that came over, they were racist. They had an attitude. They don't like Jake. They don't like Jake. They probably don't even like Jake. And then, Jake is like, fuck you, man. I don't take this shit from you. So they beat the shit out of them. So anyway, that's just some information. Just touching that. Now we're going to go into something. Let's get some scriptures. This is Psalms chapter 58, verse 10. The righteous shall rejoice when he seeth the vengeance. He shall wash his feet in the blood of the wicked, so that a man shall say, verily, there is a reward for the righteous. Verily, he is a power that judges in the earth. Hey, and that's going to take place in the kingdom, man. Hey, when we got the laws written in our inward parts, and the Lord is actually proud of us again, and he's calling us his people. And he's dealing with us, man. Hey, we're gonna wash our feet in the blood of the wicked, man. We're gonna give them beat downs. We're gonna chop heads off. Hey, man, if they don't execute the law and do what Yahweh Bashim Yoshai says, hey, man, we're gonna be right there executing judgment, and we're gonna be happy about it, and we're gonna be fully justified by the law and the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yoshai to do so. Let me get another one. This is Daniel chapter 7, verse 18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, or forever, even forever and ever. You see that? It's going to be an everlasting kingdom, and we're going to take the kingdom. Okay, it says take the kingdom. We're going to take the kingdom by force. Hey, and that starts with Yahweh Shai, man. When he comes back and he cracks them skies, he takes these other nations down, destroys them, and then he sets up his men as hunters. We're going to actually do that, and we're going to be justified. This is Psalms 149, verse 5. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. We can't do that now. We can't do that now. So what is this talking about? This is talking about the kingdom. Right? Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Now you can't do that. You gotta wake up to an alarm clock. You got quotas to meet. You got deadlines to meet. You gotta drive to work. You gotta kiss Esau's ass to get a job. Or if you have a business, you have to go to Esau for a loan or a grant. Or you gotta do certain things like you gotta get certain licenses and things of that nature just to do your business. You gotta go to him. But in the kingdom, man, we're gonna be happy. We're gonna be waking up singing, and we're gonna be talking to one another, having a good time. We're going to be a little bit more tactful, in righteousness, especially in how we interact with each other. Right now, it's all out of order and out of whack, man. Not easy. But, when we get up, man, we're going to be happy. Singing, man. Singing. Verse 6. Let the high praises of the Most High be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand. And that represents the scriptures, man, because we know going into, I believe that's Hebrews 4 and 12, it talks about how the Lord is sharper than any two-edged sword. So we're going to have a literal sword in our hand, but we're going to have the scriptures in our hand. And we're going to be executing judgment. And we're going to be singing praises unto Yahweh B'Shem Yoshai. All praises to Yahweh B'Shem Yoshai. We're going to actually be happy. You know, there's going to be no guile in our mouth. And we're going to be serving the Lord to the fullest, man. Verse 7, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people. You see, and we're going to be justified. Because for one, the laws are going to be written in our inward parts. We're not going to go off. These other nations are going to go off. And we got to be there to correct them and punish them. Beat downs. Hey, that also links up with Deuteronomy 30 and 7, man. Because these nations, they're going to go through the curses. Hey, when you're cursed, you go off, man. And that's why we're going to be there also to punish them. Now, let me read this again. Verse 7, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people. Hey, if you want to know all the heathen that we're going to punish, you should read Psalms, the 83rd chapter. And you know who it starts with? Esau, Edom, man. You're at the top of the list. And you're going to get it in the kingdom. You're going to get vicious beatdowns. If you thought this was bad, wait till the kingdom comes. Right? Wait till the kingdom comes, man. You're going to get a brutal beatdown. Verse 8, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron. And this is just low level. These are just low level Edomites. You know, in the kingdom, we're going to get the elites that run the society. These noble families that have caused us so much problems, man. That has robbed us of our humanity and our spirituality. We're going to get them, like families like the Rothschild family, the Gettys, the DuPonts, the Rockefellers. Yeah, man, we're going to get them and we're going to put them in chains, man. Verse 9, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. So this is the honor of all the saints. So we are fully justified in beating these people down. But that's going to take place in the kingdom. Jake wants it now, but it ain't time for that now, man. First of all, Yahushua has to get his first. And Jake ain't waiting for Yahushua. But you got to wait for the Lord, man. You got to wait for the Lord. Let me get another one. This is Obadiah chapter 1 verse 18. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. And they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahweh has spoken it. And they of the south shall possess the mount of Esau, and they of the plain the Philistines, and they shall possess the fields of Ephraim, and the fields of Samaria, and Benjamin shall possess Gilead. And the captivity of this host of the children of Israel shall possess that of the Canaanites, even unto Zarephath, and the captivity of Jerusalem, which is in Shephrad, shall possess the cities of the south, and saviors shall come up on Mount Zion to judge the mount of Esau, and the kingdom shall be Yahweh's. So that's what we're going to get payback, man. And the whole nation is going to take part in doing that. And they're going to beat down Esau. Esau, you're going into slavery, you're going down, you're going to be beaten down for 1,000 years. And after 1,000 years, you're going to be eradicated, man. That's how it's going to play out. Now we're going to switch. We're going into the pollution that's on this planet. You know, going into the environment, we're going to switch. So it says from GatewayPundit.com, radioactive wasp nest discovered near South Carolina nuclear weapon facility. Going into nuclear radiation. So it says a radioactive wasp nest has been discovered near a former nuclear weapon manufacturing facility in South Carolina. The nest was found by workers at the Savannah River site in Aiken County, according to a report from the Department of Energy. According to reports, the contaminated nest was found on July 3rd, just before 2 p.m. by radiological control operations workers during routine inspections. Located on a stanchion near a tank in the F Area Tank Farm, the nest registered a staggering 100,000 disintegrations per minute. I don't really understand what that is. I don't know. I don't know what that means. A level described as moderately high radiation. Okay. Workers promptly sprayed the nest to eliminate the wasps, which were then bagged and disposed of as radiological waste. And you see, so there's a leak. Now they're saying there's no leak, but how do they get infected, or how do they get contaminated? How? But it just shows you that this place is polluted. This place is polluted. Well, obviously, if you set up a nuclear a manufacturing facility, obviously there's going to be leaks somewhere. Obviously, there's going to be pollution somewhere. So it just shows you this place is polluted, man, and we need the kingdom. How could you rule in a polluted place? How could you rule in another man's kingdom? This is why we seek a new heaven and a new earth. Scriptures talks about that. Let me see if I can find a precept. Oops. New heaven and new earth. Hold on. This is 1 Peter. Fervent. That's a good one too. Excuse me. Give me 1 second here. I'm gonna call this guy back. This is 2 Peter chapter 3 and 10. It says, "A new heaven and earth, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up." There you go. And that's why the Lord has to burn this place, man. He has to burn this place with fire, thermonuclear fire. And by the way, that fire is going to cleanse the earth. It's going to cleanse the earth. You know, you notice when it says elements, that includes everything. Everything is composed of elements. When you read that chemistry chart, the periodic table, everything is composed of elements. You as a human being, you're composed of certain elements. All these buildings, all these structures, all the plants, the roads, everything, it's all composed of elements. So everything is going to be melted down, man. Verse 11, "Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation?" Yeah, and what what manner of persons ought ye to be? Yeah, and you're supposed to be involved in holy conversation, getting involved with the scriptures, doing the work, worshiping, praying to the Lord, right? Verse 12, "Looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of the Most High, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness." That's right. So we don't want this kingdom. We want a new kingdom. We want a new heaven. And that starts with Yahushua coming back and bringing forth the kingdom of heaven. That's what we're looking for. But before that happens, man, this place has to be destroyed because it's so goddamn polluted, man. You got radioactive wasps, right? Come on, man. All right, so verse 14, "Wherefore, beloved, seeing that ye look for such things, be diligent that ye may be found of him in peace, without spot and blameless." Yeah, so you got to be doing the right things. You know, if you're looking for the new heaven and the new earth, you got to work for it too. You got to work for it too. You got to be diligent. You got to be diligent when it comes to seeking out the Lord. Seek the Lord 10 times more. Right? You got to want this thing. Right? You got to want that crown. You got to strive for the mastery on all levels. Anyway, let's move on. Let me go back here. Let's see. Revelation 21, verse 1, "And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, come down from out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband." Yes, that's right. So yes, we're going to get a new earth, right? We're going to get a new heaven. And this is going into the kingdom, right? So when when the old earth is destroyed, the Lord is going to bring us back down when he sees fit, and we're going to inhabit the earth, and it's going to be under a righteous vibration, and we're not going to have pollution, chaos, well, really spiritual pollution too, because that's what's really causing the problems. This is really all of a result of spiritual pollution, spiritual fornication. When you don't serve the Lord right, and you don't follow the laws of the land, the laws that the Lord gave us to take control of the land, or to take care of the land, this is what happens. This is what plays out. But all right, that's all I want. This is Isaiah chapter 14, verse 8, and it says, I'll start at verse 7. It says, the whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into sinning. And that's going to happen when you Edomites get taken down. The whole earth is going to be at rest. And everybody's going to rejoice when you devils go down. Moss are catching hell, man. They're catching hell. How do you adapt to nuclear radiation? Shows you they're immune to it. But that takes a lot of suffering. That's crazy. Now it says, verse 8, yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no feller has come up against us. Yeah, because you cut down all the trees, deforestation. You're cutting down all the trees. The trees they help us breathe, man. They bring forth oxygen. Certain forests are cut down. You got the Amazon. The forests are being destroyed. That's not a good thing. But yes, when you Edomites go down, the trees are going to rejoice. Because the planet Earth is an organism, right? And it's spiritual, and it makes sense because it was created by a power that is spiritual, which is Yahweh Bashim El Shai. So yes, they have a spirit in them, and they feel pain. And right now, the earth is in pain. Earth is in pain, and it's actually dying. But when you go down, hey, the earth is going to rejoice, and it's going to regenerate. Especially when we get control of it. So this is Micah chapter 2, verse 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with the sword of destruction. There you go. And that's why you got to depart. You got to depart mentally from this place. This place is done. You know why it's done? Because you have a wicked man over it. Okay, when the wicked are in power, the people mourn. And that's what's happening right now. The people are mourning, and the earth is mourning. So you gotta depart from this place spiritually first. And also we're gonna physically depart, pursuing to Revelation 18 and 4. The Lord is gonna get us up out of here. But it says, for this is not your rest. That's right. You can't rest here. That means you're not gonna be successful here. You're not gonna do well here if you put stock into this place. Because it is polluted. And it's polluted on all levels. Spiritual and even physically, okay? It shall destroy you even with a sore destruction. Yeah. You stay in this place for goddamn too long, it will destroy you. And that's why the Lord, he has to shorten the time, man. And he's shortening the time for the elect's sake. Because if we were to keep going in this place year after year after year, hey, we would cease to exist. We would all be extinct. Let me get this one. This is Genesis chapter 1, verse 28. I'll start at verse 27. And it says, so the Most High created man in his own image. In the image of the Most High created he him, male and female created he them. And the Most High blessed them. And the power said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the fowl of the air and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. Yeah, and we are supposed to be the custodians. We're actually set up to be the custodians of the planet Earth, and that starts with the Israelite man, because you were given the law, statutes, and commandments. Going into Adam, to Adam was given that power, because the Lord said that He put that man in the garden, and he was able to dress it. I believe that's in Genesis, the 2nd chapter. And when you go into the word dress, it goes back to the Levitical, what's it called? I think it's the Levitical service. Yes, that's what it is, the Levitical service, which is keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. All right, that's why he was able to manage the garden. So yes, we are supposed to be custodians, and really that falls on everybody, but mainly the Israelites. And you know, when we're in the kingdom, man, hey, you can't be polluting the land, you other nations. You other nations, man, you pollute the earth. China is one of them. India is one of them. Hey, you Moabites, you Elamites, hey, you're going to be in order, man. You can't just be doing what you're doing, factory farming, dumping toxic waste in the ocean, dumping oil and pollutants in the ocean, polluting the air. Hey, you're not going to be doing that in our kingdom. You know why? Because you're going to be following the laws, statutes, and commandments. All right, let's go. Next one. So this is Isaiah chapter 24, verse 3. The land shall be utterly emptied and utterly spoiled, for Yahweh has spoken this word. The earth mourneth and fadeth away, the world languisheth and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. That's right, the haughty people. Proud, man. Proud. You know, with pride comes destruction. And that's what you're doing. Through your pride, you're destroying this place. Earth is terrible, man. Earth is not doing too well right now because of your pride. Verse 5, the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broke the everlasting covenant. There you go. And that starts with our people too. Verse 6, therefore hath the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. Okay, and ultimately that's going to play out through nuclear destruction. That's what you get for polluting the Lord's earth. This is Revelation chapter 11 and 18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. That's right. And you nations, man. You nations, and also you Israelites, you polluted the earth, and now we're in the time of your judgment. You're going to be judged real soon for destroying the Lord's earth, his planet. You know, especially you elites, man. You set up all these corporations. Man, go back into the BP oil spill. One of the worst oil spills in history, man. You know how much aquatic life was destroyed because of that? And we're still feeling the effects of it today, man. Going back to the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Japan. You know, certain places in the world, they're still feeling the effects of that radiation, man. Yo, you have to pay for that. You have to pay for that. Anyway, let's move on. This is Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 7. And I brought you into a plentiful country to eat the fruit thereof and the goodness thereof. But when ye entered, ye defiled my land and made mine heritage an abomination. The priest said not, where is Yahweh? And they that handle the law knew me not. The pastors also transgressed against me, when the prophets prophesied by Baal, and walked after things that do not profit. Wherefore I will yet plead with you, saith Yahweh, and with your children's children will I plead. See? And that's why it starts with you Israelites, man. Because you spiritually polluted the earth, first and foremost. And then that physical pollution played out afterwards. Because you're not serving the Lord the right way. So it really starts with our people. Yes, the so-called white man, he's responsible for building up all these corporations and all these businesses that pollute the earth. But it really starts with you. The reason why he's in the position that he is in today is because of your wickedness. All right, so this is Numbers chapter 35, verse 33. It says, so ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, And the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that sheddeth. Defile not therefore the land which ye shall inhabit, wherein I dwell, for Yahweh dwell among the children of Israel. That's right. You never shit where you eat, and you definitely do not shit where the Lord eats. Spiritually and physically. You're not supposed to do that. And, you know, this pollution is taking a lot of lives. It's taking away a lot of lives, man. It's killing the people. There's a lot of people that are sick because of facilities like this. And you don't even know why you're sick. You don't know why you're getting cancer. You don't know why your hair is falling out. Why maybe your testicles are shrinking. Because of this devil, man, and what he's doing out here, this mad scientist. And also this goes into, you know, if you kill somebody or you murder somebody, right, that land is also defiled too. You're not supposed to pollute the land. But yes, Esau, Edom, your blood has to be shed in order for the record to be set straight. You have to pay for what you've done. Blood must have blood. Anyways, hope this was edifying. Till next time, just want to give all praises, glory, and honor due unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone of GMS that do rule well, that do teach well. And shalom unto the hopeful elect. Kwame Ashala and Abamba Bal. Shalom.